Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Lindsay Weber.
I'm Bobby Finger.
And this is Who's There, the episode 27 Who's There of the week that we did our live show, which was earlier this week. Hope you liked it.
It seemed like people liked it.
People have been telling us to come to their towns. It's like really great.
It's great. We got an offer to sleep on someone's couch or bed. No, they said they'll give us their bed.
They'll give us their beds in DC. So seems like we're going to DC.
I love DC. It's so hot right now, though. So
well, we won't go until like the election. We'll do like an election themed. Like they like that stuff there, right?
Yeah, we'll get like Mike Pence to come and Tim Kaine to come. That'll be fun.
They're free, right? Like they're just in DC waiting for people to tell them to do things, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Speaking of politics, have you been watching the respective RNC DNCs?
I have. I wasn't watching today because I just watched the finale of Stranger Things, but I did watch yesterday. So I saw like Bill Clinton and Meryl and...
Did you see Deborah?
No, I missed Deborah, and I saw part of Lena and America, but I didn't see the whole thing. Howard Dean, but I guess he's not really a Who.
No, I mean, it's really been a wonderful mix of who's and thems. Like, I love the idea that Chloe Grace Moretz is, like, hobnobbing it with, like, Meryl, you know?
Has
like,
she
they're just
spoken
hanging
yet?
out. She has not. I tweeted asking when she's speaking, and some Chloe Grace Moretz fan Twitter responded that she'll be speaking on Thursday.
Wait, so you just tweeted like into the ether? You didn't tweet at someone specifically? You were just like, hey fam, like when is Chloe gonna speak?
Yeah, well, I wanted to know when she was on the schedule, and someone was like, Thursday. The context of what she's speaking about, I'm not sure. Like, I thought it was really interesting when Deborah Messing got up and you were like, here we go. But then she said stuff about 9/11 and you were like, oh, well, okay, cool, bye.
I'm still focused on what happened, like the chain of events that occurred after you tweeted at Chloe Grace Moretz. What alarm bell went off in a tween's basement that was like, wah, 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 wah. Like they've got to respond to the Chloe Grace Moretz tweets.
Speaking of Chloe Grace Moretz, did you see Who Weekly fan Emily Fleischiker found Chloe Grace Moretz at the DNC?
Yes, and took a selfie with her.
The story apparently is that she was at a party with Who's and Thems, but spotted the Who, went to take a picture with her, and then shouted to her friends, I found the Who, and then had to explain what a Who was, which is above and beyond her patriotic duty to this podcast.
That's perfect. It's perfect.
But yeah, speaking of the DNC, which is happening currently, I feel like we should address something that a lot of people have been tweeting at us about.
Well, first, let's play the theme song.
You or Jayla?
Yo, they want to know.
Hey.
Mia.
Hey.
Mia. Come on.
Hey. I want to be famous.
Okay, Lindsay, but back to what were you going to mention about the DNC?
I just want to talk about this video that played. This what would you call it? Abomination of our politics? The most embarrassing thing Democrats have ever done? No? What would you call it? Acapella?
I think that's correct. It made me feel like I was a small boat in the ocean, and a big wave was set into motion and then capsized my boat. And then I drowned in the ocean.
Can we discuss that fight song? Rachel Platten's fight song has been a favorite of Bobby's way before this podcast was even a twinkle in our eyes. Bobby has been standing for Rachel Platten's fight song.
Can I tell the story behind this really quickly? It's short. When this song was released, our friend Steven is very on top of new releases because that's his job. And so he hears things immediately and is like, this is good, this is bad, and will like send it to people who he thinks will enjoy it. And so when Fight Song came out, literally the day Fight Song was released as a single by Rachel Platten, he sent it to me, and I feel like it was in a larger email chain. And he said, oh, Bob, you'll love this. And
You'll love this trash song.
You'll love this garbage song or something. And it started playing, and I was like, oh, I see why he thinks I'll love this, because it's some very corny ballad with a female vocalist. Oh, he thinks he knows me. And a minute into the song, I was sold, and it was my favorite song of all time. And I was so upset because I'm so obvious. Anyway, that's why. So it immediately became my favorite song, partly because I didn't want it to be. And because I didn't want it to be, I needed it even more.
I gotta say, the reason why I think he knew this would be your favorite song is because of your obsession with Brave. Because Sarah Bareilles is Brave.
This is a spiritual sequel to Brave, yes.
So we've talked about this song now for way too long. We should play this video.
Let's play the video and refresh ourselves as to who was in this. Who and who. Okay, so the thing is, Elizabeth Banks directed this, and so because Elizabeth Banks directed this, she's featured heavily in it, and also she called in some favors to a lot of Pitch Perfect people.
Well, also because it's a cappella. That's the joke.
The joke is that it's a cappella, but the funnier part about this is that she managed to get, I would say, 95% of the people involved in studio and like performing in front of the nice cameras, in front of the green screen. And then the remaining 5 to 6% of people just filmed themselves with their webcam on their MacBook and sent it in. So you'll see these weird anomalous blips where it's like America Ferrera with headphones in what is clearly her trailer on set of something. And like Alan Cumming dancing with his dog. Yeah. So next up, we're going to play this song. I'm clicking play now.
For Hillary.
Mandy Moore.
It's interesting how Mandy Moore is like the star of
Rachel
this
Platten.
movie.
What else? She's already bought all of her Tropicana for the week.
Who's that guy? Who's that girl?
The two people on the right I know, but I have
Is that
Aisha Tyler. Mandy Moore.
Rachel Platten again.
Rachel
Who
Platten
does
again.
look a lot like Mandy Moore.
They look like
to be
sisters,
fair.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
Girl on the left, no idea. No idea who that is. Oh, Maria Bello. John Michael Higgins. No idea. Bottom left, no idea.
So that girl's from Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect girl.
That's Rob Reiner for some reason.
Oh, yeah, Reiner.
There's Kathy Najimy
Kathy Najimy, yes.
in the middle. Kathy Najimy starring
And
role
then
in
a
the
billion
middle.
who's surrounding Kathy Najimy.
One of those was
No
Kathy
idea.
Griffin.
John Michael Higgins.
Oh, is that the guy from Pitch Perfect who's the other?
Yes, they're doing their thing.
Why is T.R. Knight in this? America Ferrera from her
You
trailer.
can ask that about everyone in this, Lindsay.
Jane
And then
Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda calling in from a spaceship. Julie Bowen also calling in from a spaceship. Jamie King for some reason.
Everybody's worried.
I don't know who any of these people are.
The guy, so a lot of these, what's really crazy is that a lot of these Who's look like other Who's. Like this guy looks like Frankie Grande. The other guy looks like Zac Efron. Who I guess is that who?
Who's far left? Okay, Platten.
Like Maria Abramovich's little sister.
There's Jesse Tyler Ferguson and
Kristen Chenoweth, I forgot about her.
These women all look the same. Oh, Eva Longoria.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see what's happening here.
No idea.
You'd think she'd keep the continuity.
Esther Dean, Pitch Perfect, Adina Menzel.
And the guy from Pitch Perfect. There's Connie again. Give Connie more time. These people know who that is.
My nemesis, Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Was that Captain McPhee?
I don't know.
That was Captain McPhee. For 2 seconds. Esther Dean.
I'm who raps because she raps. in
Esther
Pitch Perfect,
Dean.
So that's fine.
Esther Dean is a Rick Rubin-esque character where she's very famous in the music industry, but no one outside the music industry
She's
knows
written
who she
like
is.
almost every song.
Every
There's
song.
Connie Britton again. There's some kid.
This kid.
Who is that? Who is that kid?
The kid is really funny.
I don't like the guy on the right.
The guy on the right is awful. He's a Canadian YouTuber,
Oh, is he?
which says everything.
I mean, just the fact that Mandy Moore is like the star of this video says so many things.
I hate this. Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder.
Oh, right, because they're
Kid.
married.
This like
There's
disinterested
Alan
kid.
Cumming with his
Alan
dog.
Cumming not learning the words is
T.R.
my
Knight-
favorite thing.
T.R. Knight, who is from Grey's Anatomy, he died a while ago, but he's most famously from that show. He got like 1 second of screen time in this video. Oh, they become the flag, but there's just a bunch of Who's recruited.
Is that Nick Jonas, like secretly?
No, and then this.
Oh, Sia.
Wow, I'm glad we did that live.
So that's gonna be tough to edit.
I'm just gonna put the song over it, but
We have
I
to
guess
sync it up correctly.
I will. But let me just read the
Wait,
names of
I'm
the people.
sorry. Mary
What?
Louise Parker was not in that. That
Can I?
list
Well, I
is
was
wrong.
I'm gonna read the names from the official press release of who was in this, and tell me if you remember seeing them and / who they are. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Aisha Tyler. We went over her last week.
Saw her.
Alan Cumming.
Didn't learn the lyrics, just danced with his dogs.
He is a Broadway person. There's no reason why he would ever learn these lyrics. America Ferrera, who is definitely doing it from her trailer at the DNC because she spoke.
Yes.
Ben Platt, Billy Porter, and Chrissy Fitt, who I believe are all perfect people. Maybe?
Ben Platt is Pitch Perfect. Billy Porter is just a like a Broadway person, so he's a singer. And
Okay.
then
Who's Chrissy Fitt?
Chrissy Fitt is in Pitch Perfect 2.
Okay.
But yes.
Connie Britton, who we all know. Elizabeth Banks, who we all know. Ellen Green?
Oh, Ellen Green is she's the older one who you were like, who's that lady?
Yeah. Is she a character actress?
She's the one who kind of looks like I said that she looked like Maria Abramovich's little sister. She's just an actress. So she was in Little Shop of Horrors. I think that's what she's most famous for.
Oh, she's like a character actress.
Yeah, she's a character actress.
She's slightly older.
Yes.
She has been in lots of things. She's like a Broadway person. Got it.
She's 65.
Okay, Esther Dean, who we talked about, Eva Longoria, who you know, Garrett Clayton, who sounds familiar. Is he like a YouTube person?
He's the one who looks like Zac Efron, but not.
He's from Teen Beach Movie, which is actually a very good description of somebody who looks like Zac Efron, who's not. Hannah Mae Lee, who I believe is from Pitch Perfect. Ian
Yes.
Somerhalder, who we've been over. He's from like Vampire
Lost
Diaries.
and
Is married to Nikki
Rules
Reed.
of Attraction. Yes.
Idina
Nikki Reed was
Menzel,
also
who you
in it.
know. Jamie King, who we've been over many times. Perfect Who. Jane Fonda, who, like, I don't even know how she got in this. That was weird. Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Bobby's nemesis. John Michael Higgins. Is he...
John Michael Higgins is, I think technically he is a Who, because you wouldn't know him by name, but he's in so many things.
He's, so in Pitch Perfect...
He's Best in Show. He's Pitch Perfect.
In Pitch Perfect, he plays the announcer that's like the announcer that goes with Elizabeth Banks' announcer. So the joke is that they're the announcers and they're rude.
And he walks the Shih Tzu in Best in Show.
Only you would know that.
Also,
Josh
Josh
Lucas
Lucas
is such a Who.
was not in this. I did not see Josh Lucas.
He's such a Who.
You know the thing about Josh Lucas. So Josh Lucas is a little too early Bradley Cooper who didn't make it.
Yes.
He's like the Bradley Cooper that never happened.
Who does he marry?
They
to?
thought he
Who
would
is
happen because he was in Sweet Home Alabama. He was
so good in
in
that.
a couple like of those art movies. What was that David Gordon Green movie he was in where he's like the evil uncle with Jamie Bell? Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
But he was sort of being groomed to be some A-list handsome
Didn't happen.
big name, and it didn't happen.
All right.
Uh,
we can move
he was
on.
just in Mysteries of Laura, which is funny, which didn't
With
happen
Deborah
either.
Messing, which is probably
Yes.
why he ended up here. Okay.
Yes.
Moving on, Julie Bowen, the wonderful Kathy Najimy. Who is Mike Tompkins?
Oh, I looked him up. Mike Tompkins is the one who looks like Frankie Grande, the one that you were upset by.
Who is he?
He is he's a Canadian singer.
The reason why I was upset by him, to be clear, was because he was in so much of the video, like so much of it.
Yeah, because he's an acapella guy.
Okay, so he actually was singing, is what you're saying.
He's an acapella guy, and Ellen loves him. Like, this is me. I'm looking at
Ellen loves him.
I'm looking at his Wikipedia, but he's a Canadian YouTuber, and his specialty is acapella and specifically beatboxing, which is my nightmare.
Okay, so Nikki Reed, who we went over, they spelled her name wrong on this press release, which is funny. Did you notice that? Rachel Platten, who sang Bobby's favorite song, Fight Song. Renee Fleming, a very famous opera singer who I definitely did not see.
My favorite thing about Renee Fleming's Wikipedia entry is that it says she's an American opera singer and soprano. In what world does telling me what your, what do you call those? Your vocal range, if you're a soprano or an alto or a whatever, how does that help me identify you?
I actually recognize her and know her name. I did not see her in that video. I believe that she contributed to the singing, but I don't think that they gave her
She
any
was in the
screen
video.
time.
She was in the video. I noticed her.
Okay. Rob Reiner was in that. That's cool. They definitely didn't. That was kind of random. Shelley Regner, who I don't
Pitch
know
Perfect
who that
girl.
is. Pitch Perfect.
Pitch
Good job.
Perfect.
Sia, who was at the end. And my favorite person in this video, who got maybe 0.5 seconds of screen time, TR Knight.
TR Knight was, what was his name? George in Grey's
He
Anatomy?
was in Grey's Anatomy. He died, and then he had that big controversy with the other Grey's Anatomy guy who called him a slur and got kicked off. But also he died.
Wasn't he dating the woman from You've Got Mail in Grey's Anatomy? Weren't they in love?
Wait,
before
the
he
woman
died?
from You've Got Mail. Who are you calling the woman from You've Got Mail?
The
That's my question.
Zabar's cashier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were. Yeah. I hate that you call Callie from Grey's Anatomy the You've Got Mail woman. That is such a specific you reference.
This is a cash-only line. Get in another line.
Happy Thanksgiving. It's your turn to say Happy Thanksgiving back.
Happy Thanksgiving back.
The sad thing is, like, I can't even say her real name. I'm like, respect her, but I don't know her real. Oh, her name is Sarah Ramirez. I didn't look that up.
Sarah Ramirez, yeah. But weren't they an item in the show?
They were.
That's all I remember, because I stopped watching after he died, or before he died.
I think he died on an elevator. There was this whole thing where he was like, oh, no. It was so bad, Bobby. The way that he died was he got hit by a bus and they didn't know it was him for the whole episode. They were calling the person John Doe, but we knew. And then at the end, they found out that it was him who was John Doe, and it was crazy.
That's awful. So, are we done with this horrible video?
I hope so.
Honestly, Trump's going to win because of this video.
Don't you dare say that.
Not to get political, but Trump's going to win because of this video.
I don't want to accept or deny that statement. I do.
There's going to be a game-changey book that gets an HBO movie in like 2025, and it's going to be about the backlash to Elizabeth Banks for allowing Trump to win by making this video.
Do you think that they asked Meryl's to do it, and Meryl's like, haven't I done enough? I think I'm good.
I think that exact conversation happened, yeah.
Let's move on. We have a call. That was just a random little riff for you. Here's our first call.
Hi, Who Weekly. This is Julia from England. I'm mostly calling to prove to you that you have fans over here. I'm spreading it around my friends. Everyone loves it. Also, I feel kind of shit asking this because he seems like a dick. But who the fuck is Jeffree Star? Please, can you tell me? Maybe not in too much detail because he sounds like an absolute arsehole. So apologies for asking about such praise. Anyway, good to spawn, Bella Thorne. Thanks, bye.
So who is Jeffree Star?
You have to take this.
Why? Okay, fine.
I saw this and I decided I'm not doing this.
Here's the thing.
I cannot figure out this drama at all.
This drama got dragged along way further than what it actually was, which was a very simple miscommunication / could have been solved in an email chain / business transaction. Basically what happened was Jeffree Star, who is a MySpace era leftover, could I call him that? MySpace era leftover, who has like a music career but also does makeup. It's shocking that he's only 30 because I feel like he's been around a very long time.
Lindsay, I had no idea who this person was.
So he's a thing. He does makeup. That's his thing. So the other person in this feud is Kat Von D, also somebody I'm not quite sure about, but she also does makeup, and that's her thing. She dated the Nazi that Sandra Bullock dated. I do remember that. I don't know if they're still dating. Remember that guy?
Jesse James.
Yes. I don't think they're still dating, but she also they both have makeup lines. They're both like makeup people. And they had a feud because Jeffree Star's friend, Kat Von D's friend, did a logo for Jeffree Star, and then Jeffree Star didn't pay this person. That's literally the feud. But meanwhile,
do we know how much money he was owed?
No, none of this was ever actually
detailed.
It was just like pay my friend, and whatever. But point being, this feud ended with a 23-minute long vlog from Jeffree Star that I refuse to watch.
Well, that's the bullet point that I saw when I was trying to figure this story out. Like before the calls came in, I was trying to figure this out because I saw it all over the tabloids. And when I got to the point in the story where it said that they released a 23-minute video, I said, I'm not wasting any mental energy on this. I can't watch this. I don't care about these people. How did it end?
I didn't watch it. I did.
So this is just still going on. We don't know what happened.
I think it's over. Like, I think the fight's over. I think somebody got paid. I think the person got paid. But honestly, just send an invoice and move on. This is so boring. Anyways, we're done with this. Thank you for spreading Who Weekly to your friends in England. I'm sorry you have to pay attention to this garbage, honestly.
Here, I feel like I still don't know all the details, but also I still don't care. I did just look at the tweets, and the matter between myself and Jeffree Star has been amicably resolved, and I will have no further comments on the matter.
I'm sorry, unlike the 12 Refinery 29 blog posts that detailed this feud, I just told you it in like 2 minutes, so let's not even drag it out.
Okay, fine. So we're going to move on.
Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Bobby. Can you do a segment on Ed Hartwell and Keisha Knight-Pulliam? They're getting a divorce, and he wants a paternity test just after she announced that she was pregnant. So that is very interesting to me. He looks familiar, and I don't know why. So yeah, that would be great. And love the podcast. You guys are hilarious, and have a great day. Bye.
Bye. I love leaving in the compliments. Like, we could easily edit out the compliments for the show.
I would never, ever edit out
let's
the
leave them in.
No, are you kidding? I would never edit them out. No, absolutely not.
So Ed Hartwell and Keisha Knight-Pulliam, I'm sure everyone knows Keisha Knight-Pulliam. If you didn't know her by name, you know her by her most famous role, which is Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show. She was in it from the very beginning, unlike Sandra, who showed up in season 2 and was suddenly their oldest child and never existed at the beginning. I don't accept Sandra as a Huxtable child. I do accept Rudy. So after Rudy left the Cosby Show, I
Clearly
feel like
this is yours.
So
she wasn't the one who did porn, right? Who did porn?
No, that was what other family show? There was a family show where the daughter did porn. It was Family Matters. Yeah, it was who was the aunt who lived with them and had the daughter? It was the daughter.
Okay. Anyways, sorry.
It wasn't the Winslow. It wasn't the nuclear Winslow family. It was the other one.
So the only problematic Cosby is Cosby.
Yes, the only problematic Cosby is Cosby, as well as the cast members who sort of defend him. I think Malcolm Jamal Warner sort of was like, it's fine. Like, he was nice to me, and also maybe Keisha did too. But anyway, that's not the point. So Keisha has sort of been. She hasn't completely left the spotlight because she's been around and she's been sort of acting a little bit, but you'll recognize her. She looks the same. Like, you look at her and you're like, that's Rudy Huxtable. Mm-hmm. But she's still around. Like, she has a very active Instagram account. And so on Instagram account, I think maybe it was her Twitter, she announced in December that she was engaged to this former football player named Ed Hartwell. As you know, or as I hope you know, if you've been listening to the podcast, I don't know anything about sports. So I went to this guy's Wikipedia page to find out what sport he played. He's a football player, but former football player. And I thought this was really funny, so I went through his career history, which lists all the teams he's played for. Let's begin.
Why are we doing this?
Because listen, this is really funny. So number 1, Baltimore Ravens. Couldn't tell you any details about the Baltimore Ravens, but I've heard of them. Number 2, Atlanta Falcons. Couldn't tell you any details, but I've heard of them. Number 3, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals. Same. Number 4, Oakland Raiders. That's 2008. Number 5, the last team he played for was the Las Vegas Locomotives. That's a team? Did you know that was a team? No. The Las Vegas Locomotives.
Wait, I have a question. Why locomotives? Out of all the things in Las Vegas that are notable to use as your...
I don't know.
Is there a popular locomotive in Las Vegas?
I don't know. When I sort of think of the Southwest, like, people got there to the railroads. That's how we started sending people to the other side of the country, because of railroads. So
But I
maybe
feel like
there's
there are
something to do
so
with that.
many better
But I don't
Las
think the
Vegas
Transcontinental
icons.
Railroad even goes through Nevada.
Why wouldn't
Or
you
maybe
call
it
them
does.
like the Las Vegas Celine Dion's or the Las Vegas bingo tables or the Las
Vegas Ocean's 11s.
I mean, I just feel like there's so many
The
more
Las
iconic...
Vegas Buffet.
That would be amazing.
But
Locomotives?
their shortened name is the Locos, which is kind of cool. I like that. So their helmets say Locos. Also, the team doesn't exist anymore. The team like went out of business. How do you describe a folding team? The team existed from 2009 to 2012. Doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, so what happened was Keisha was engaged to Ed at the end of last year. So they became engaged. It was a thing. I remember that because Keisha was back in the news. Oh, cool. Good for Keisha. She's happy. She's going to get married. Great. They were married soon after. They were married at the beginning of the year, sometime in January. They kind of fell off the map. We forget about Keisha and Ed because whatever. They found their happiness. A couple weeks ago, the story is, oh my God, Keisha's pregnant. And it's sort of like, it was a news story because, oh my God, the youngest Cosby child is now having a baby. That's an interesting sort of generational transition where the youngest person of this generation is now creating a new life, blah, blah, blah. That's sort of interesting. A week later, they announced their divorce. And they announced their divorce, and he said that he didn't believe that he was the father. So Ed was like, no, I'm not the father. Keisha cheated on me.
What?
Which you don't want to believe that Rudy cheated on her husband? No. Rudy is a sympathetic character. Everyone loves Keisha. So Keisha immediately fires back and says, no. Ed cheated on me. So now Ed wants a paternity test.
Oh, God.
That's
you
the
think they
story.
would figure that stuff out before she announced it on her Instagram?
Well, you would think that Kathy Najimy would not show up in a Democratic National Convention video directed by Elizabeth Banks in which she sings Fight Song. You would think a lot of things.
Some of the best moments of this Us Weekly article detailing these details. The kicker of this. You ready?
Ready.
Pulliam has yet to comment on Hartwell's divorce filing. On July 22nd, she showed off her growing baby bump on Instagram. On Monday, she appeared happy, telling her fans on social media that she braved the 100-degree weather in Atlanta to get a haircut.
Fascinating. I love it.
Now that's some reporting.
Next call.
Hey, Bobby and Lindsay, long-time listener, first-time caller, Stephanie here. I've always wanted to say that. I have a question about baby who's, and if your parents are thems, then are the babies automatically a thems? Like Suri Cruz, everyone pretty much knows her. Is she a who now because she's not so much in the tabloids? And who are then the biggest baby who's and the most popular baby who's, I guess? Thanks. Bye.
I'm going to have a very unsatisfying response to this.
Yeah.
The baby who's are all the babies who are not Blue Ivy, Northwest, or Saint West, or any of the Kardashian children. I cannot name another baby.
What about, well, Suri was a baby, them.
Suri's not a baby anymore.
Okay. So you're saying the babies current babies.
I think
a baby.
I think what she said is the obvious defining characteristic. Both of their parents have to be current. She said both of their parents have to be thems, but I think even making that even more detailed, both of their parents have to be very, very current thems.
It's true.
Where there can't be any question that they're thems.
I
They have to
feel
be thems in the moment who are
like-
currently getting coverage.
Well, I feel like Brangelina and Kanye and Kim and Beyonce and Jay-Z set the standard of having a them baby so high that the only other babies that can really compete are like the royal baby.
Charlotte and George. And George, yeah.
We said that at the same time. The royal baby. Or, I mean, there are really not that many like them babies at this point.
Because if we know one thing about celebrities, they love reproducing. They're always having babies, and I can barely keep track of the who's. I'm not going to keep. I will never know Ali Fedotowsky's baby's name ever. I will never know it.
Molly. I'm sorry.
You think? You think?
I'm pretty sure it's Molly. You said
Well,
it
I'm not
last
going to remember that.
week. You said it last week. Definitely a couple that is them who is having a who baby. I'll just say that. You
Yes.
default to who baby. That baby needs to work for itself to get up to them status if it wants to do that. That is up to that baby. Right?
Yeah.
You know?
So I would think, I'm trying to think of other really famous babies. There was Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow had the famous babies. Number one, they were both thems, but then they gave them weird names, so they were instantly recognizable, and they had like tabloid coverage. Moses and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
When they were babies, they were them babies, but again, that follows the rule of both of them had to be extreme thems, like the upper echelon of the thems.
I mean, if you are a couple and you have a name, like a one name, like a Brangelina or whatever, that is a them. You will have a them baby for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you go to my favorite website, People's Celebrity Babies, People Babies. Have you ever been to this People Babies?
Have I ever? Yes, I've been there.
Extremely good. No one on here is a them, basically. I mean, if you just go down the list, you have Eva Marie, Christine Likens' blog, Finding Our New Normal with a Newborn. She was on Step by Step, I think. Tatiana Ali's blog, Finding My Mom, Me, Superpowers. Marla Sokolov's blog, Is Anywhere Truly Terror-Proof? This is insane. They give them blogs?
They all have their own blogs, yeah.
Wale welcomes daughter Zyla Moon. Ernie and Cindy Halverson welcome son Ernest Zhang. This really is just, wow. Anyways.
Also, I hate to do this to you, but you pronounced her name wrong again. It's Eva Marie.
I honestly, get at it, please. No, I refuse. No, absolutely
You mispronounce it every week, Lindsay.
I choose to not pronounce her name the way that it fits as a pun in her blog. Excuse me. I refuse.
It fits as a pun because that's how it's pronounced.
I refuse. No.
Well, I refuse to learn who baby names.
Oh, you know whose baby's definitely going to be a them? China and Rob's.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it already is.
Let's continue on our journey. There's your answer. Next call.
Yeah, that was a fun call.
Hi, Who Weekly. So, the big news is that Comic-Con just announced that Brie Larson is Captain Marvel, and my first response was, who? So, I'm wondering if you think Captain Marvel is a who. I mean, she is. Even I hear myself saying it, and like she is a who of superheroes. So, hoping you can explain who she is. Yeah, that's it. And Brie Larson is a them. Bye.
Let's start this off by saying Bobby and I are both not comic book stans or nerds, just to be clear.
Yeah, and I know that whatever we say about Captain Marvel will be corrected in a future call, and we love that, and that's great, and you should correct us. But just know that neither of us are experts in this field. Captain Marvel is a Marvel superhero that's been around for a really long time, since the 60s, and she's had several names, but I guess the name or the version of Captain Marvel that Brie will be playing is Carol Danvers. And Carol Danvers has been around for a long time. She's basically a mutant as far as I can tell. I guess all of the superheroes underwent some sort of transformation that caused them to have their powers. But hers was some sort of weird, there's some sort of alien hybrid thing going on. The alien race is called the Krees, but I could not tell you much about the Krees at all, so I won't even try. But she's a sort of human alien hybrid, and she has she kind of seems like a jack of all trades when it comes to superheroes, because she has like super strength, super eyesight, super senses, everything's great. And then she has one of the only like feminist icons in Marvel superhero lore in this whole universe. So it was a big deal that they cast Brie Larson, number one, because she's a huge superhero. Number two, she hasn't been in a movie yet. I thought that she's since she just got cast last week, but she's certainly been on the short list because I assumed that she had already been cast. So when it was news, I thought that that was old news, but it was just because she had been floated as the front runner for so long. So that's all I can say about Captain Marvel.
So what's interesting too is that we talk about Brie Larson before as being kind of this like, people still are like, who, even though she has been in so many beloved, critically acclaimed, Oscar-winning things, people are still a little bit confused as to who she is.
I wouldn't say so many. She's been in a few. Like awards caliber things.
She has been in enough. This is not.
Yeah.
She has been in a lot of things that have been.
But they weren't box office hits the way that.
Her career is so short that she's done enough work that where the majority of the work that she's done in her short career so far has been like beloved and gotten her on lists. So the point is that she won the Oscar. People are still confused as to who she was. Now she's going to be in like back to back, like the King Kong movie. She's going to be in what else is she in? Like going to be in soon?
Oh, she's going to be in this one, like Free Fire. I feel like that's supposed to be a thing because Cillian Murphy's in it. It's called Free Fire.
Free Fire.
I don't know much about it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
But I think it's supposed to be a thing.
I mean, I guess for the fact that she'll be in the King Kong movie and now Captain Marvel essentially back to back, she's going to be this big superhero, super action person, and this is a huge deal. And she definitely is going to be like, the Jennifer Lawrence, the next Jennifer Lawrence, the alongside Jennifer Lawrence actress. I mean, also she'll be perfect because she's already super. I feel like she'll make a great action star. She's already, to me, that type of person in my mind.
And for a while, I assumed that Jennifer and Brie would be competing for the same roles, but I think they're just different enough where they won't be competing for the same roles. I don't think.
Also, don't you feel like Jennifer Lawrence's superhero has been kind of not as important to her career? Like, it's something she does, and I'm sure she makes a lot of money.
Well, yeah, because she had started the superhero. She started the superhero stuff before she got her major critical acclaim.
Right. So it's almost something that you forget.
Our friend Griffin, when I was on his podcast that he does with David Sims, Blank Check, which is great, you should all listen to it. He had just come from seeing Apocalypse, X-Men, and we were talking about it. And I said, how was the movie? Was it good? And he said, I thought it was fine. But do you want to know who didn't like it at all? And I said, who? And he goes, Jennifer Lawrence. He said the whole movie, he just said it made it seem like she was miserable filming that movie because she's sick of doing shit like that. And Brie's more interested because Brie's on the earlier side of her career, even though they're the same age.
I mean, also, don't you think that if Jennifer Lawrence had gotten on the superhero bandwagon later in her career when she was the most profitable, beloved person she is now, they would have given her a better superhero character? Like, she could have been, they just would have given her a better role, I think.
They would have given her Marvel stuff instead of, I mean, I guess X-Men are Marvel people, but they would have given her a better role. Yeah, you're right.
I just feel like she fades into the background of that X-Men series, and also X-Men is secondary to Avengers now. The Avengers movies are better. X-Men is less good,
right,
because
when the X-Men sort of reboot happened, the whole thing is they wanted no-name people for the new cast of characters, whereas with the Avengers thing, they're getting famous people to fill the roles.
Right.
No,
yeah. I mean, it's super
sort of ish. There's a gray area, but for the most part, there's a difference there.
This is also two very uneducated opinions of people who don't even really like superhero movies. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
You don't really.
I'm sort of mentally exhausted just talking about this.
It's true. I'm so happy that they're kind of fading out of fad. I mean, I know that there's so many planned for the next few years, but I think they're becoming less of a.
I'm really excited for the Universal monster movie universe. How there's going to be a new Mummy and a new.
Oh, I love those. I love those.
Tom Cruise is going to be in The Mummy, but it's set in present day and blah, 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 blah. That's going to be
fun.
I'm
into that stuff. I'm into more of that magic-y stuff than I am into these worlds of comics that I never read and don't understand and ultimately will never really enjoy. All right, we should go to the next one.
The next one. Oh, I love the next one. Let's play it.
Okay, play it.
Hi, Who Weekly. I'm calling to find out more about Pippa Middleton's Whoey fiancé and her fiancé's even Whoier brother. Related question. Is Pippa a who? Thanks. Bye.
That's a good question. That's a
It's
seriously
a
good question.
great question.
Is Pippa
What's your
who?
gut? Is Pippa who?
Honestly, yeah.
I think it's tough.
You think no?
I think she has them name recognition. I feel like everyone
But could
does
you
know.
pick her out in a crowd? No.
No, that's why I'm saying it's tough. I don't know if I could tell you what she looks like because she is so sort of generic brunette white woman looking.
Because I know, because Kate Middleton, definitely a them, obviously. But I also know what she looks like. If you showed me a picture of
and
her,
I don't know what Pippa
she's
looks
so beautiful, I would say, oh, that's her. Like, I recognize her smile. I recognize her look.
Yes.
Pippa, I feel like, got her shine at the wedding when she had a nice butt, which everyone was obsessed with. Remember that awful thing?
Exactly. And so
Not
this
her
is
butt,
where
I
things
mean
get
the
confusing.
coverage.
I think people all know, if you went up to a random person and said, what's Kate Middleton's sister's name? They would say Pippa.
Right.
But I don't
the
think they'd
name
be able
is
to pick her out of a lineup.
interesting. Right.
But exactly. But the problem I have with Pippa is that I always associate her with the member of the royal family whose name will always escape me, who wore that sort of tan getup with the really the hat that everyone was making fun of immediately, that sort of looked like
Who?
like a goatsy hat, you know?
I mean,
Remember the hat?
I know there are people out there that really love the royal family and pay attention and know all these names and all these people. And these are definitely the thems of the royal family. I mean, you can't get more them than like the future queen and her sister or whatever. But as far as like in America and people who only casually, these are definitely, she's definitely a who, at least to me. Pippa looks like her sister. Pippa looks like Kate, essentially, but different, slightly different. So the call is about Pippa is engaged. There are all these rumors that Pippa was like gonna date the brother Harry. Remember that
Harry,
whole
yeah.
thing? He was like, that was fun. Anyways,
Because the narrative has always been Pippa's jealous of Kate and Pippa wants to one up Kate.
I mean,
And so but I'm saying all the gossip mags for years have been saying like Pippa wants nothing more than to usurp Kate and to be more famous with Kate. Okay, so Pippa Middleton has been in the news recently. Well, first of all, we decided that she is technically a them. I think it's rough. I think there's a gray area.
I would say though, if we're so unclear, she's a them, because usually if you err on,
Yeah, okay.
I would say
she's a
she's a
them.
them.
At least for the time being. She has been dating this guy, and I'm not sure if she's actually confirmed this relationship, but we've all seen her engagement ring. Everyone's been freaking out about her enormous engagement ring. She has been dating this guy and is now allegedly engaged to a man named James Matthews, and he's this really rich hedge fund guy, whatever. Very boring. There's not much to know about this guy. What's interesting, and the reason that this story is worth talking about, is because James is not just some random rich hedge fund guy. He actually has a connection to British pop culture, and that connection is his brother, whose name is Spencer Matthews. And Spencer Matthews is famous in his own right because he is a star of the show Made in Chelsea, which, again, Lindsay and I are not British, so we don't, a reality show. But as far as I can tell, Made in Chelsea is sort of the wealthier version of The Only Way is Essex, where you've got kind of people being trashy on screen every week, but instead of sort of suburban town, they are wealthy. So it's like rich kids of Instagram.
My argument is that reality shows are all
Yeah.
trashy, no matter how wealthy you are. I mean, that's like saying like, the Housewives of Beverly Hills aren't trashy because they're rich. It's actually they're still quite trashy, even though that they're wealthy. I Googled him, Spencer Matthews, to kind of get a sense of what role he plays and like his vibe, and I got this article. Made in Chelsea Lothario, Spencer Matthews compares breaking up with a girlfriend to finishing his favorite TV series. Then the article is just kind of like, he's known for breaking people's hearts. I guess he dressed up as Cupid for a new show, and there's a picture of him with like a bow and arrow and wings.
Oh my god.
And he, you know, his whole thing is that he's kind of a heartbreaker. So I've never watched his show. I don't quite know what's up, but let's just say that is kind of the vibe. And then also...
He looks like he would be a contestant on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, he's conventionally attractive. His brother is actually James Matthews, the one that she's marrying, is more interesting looking. And I learned that because I read Us Weekly's Pippa Middleton's fiance, James Matthews, 5 Things to Know. Do you want to know them?
Tell me the 5 things.
Okay, number 1, he started his own business. Did you know that? Did you?
They all start their own businesses.
All right, number 2, he's super athletic.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3, he attended the same boarding school as Prince William and Prince Harry. Don't all rich people attend the same boarding school?
They all attend the same boarding school. Tom Hiddleston attended that boarding school too.
All right, moving on. Number 4, his younger brother is a reality star. We knew that. Oh, Spencer was also on the reality TV game show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. How embarrassing for their whole family. Oh God, number 5. Wait, number 5 is out of left field. You ready for this one?
Yes.
His older brother died climbing Mount Everest.
Oh my God.
I know. You weren't expecting that, and neither was I. Isn't that awful?
Rich people think the rules do not apply to them. Everest does not want you on it.
Wait, this is awful. His older brother, Michael Matthews, became the youngest Brit to reach the top of Mount Everest at the age of 22 before his death during the descent. Isn't that supposed to be the easy part?
I don't think any part of Everest is easy.
Okay, true. I don't want to disrespect
Everest,
them.
I cannot get behind anyone climbing Mount Everest. I think it's so stupid.
It really
I will
is
never
a
be
rich
impressed if you
people's
climb Mount
game,
Everest.
isn't it? It's true. It's such a rich
because you
game.
need to hire someone in the area who has lungs who are capable of doing. You have to pay people to risk their lives to take you up there.
I know.
It's garbage. It's a rich man's game, and it's just a huge risk. And
okay.
I think it's awful.
All right. Glad we have your opinion on this. We can move on now. I feel like we know everything. This is it.
Oh my God.
Last call.
Save the, I don't know. I wouldn't even call it the best for last. It's just really good.
Hey y'all, this is Nick from New York. Love the live show. I'm calling because I want to know who or what a Whitney Port is. I saw reference to her in a refinery article that told me what celebrity house I should have based on my sign. Thanks.
Wait, so did he get Whitney Port's house? Is that why? I wonder what the answer was. Whitney Port. This is easy. This is quick. Whitney Port starred in The Hills and then starred in The City. She is probably the most boring reality star to ever get her own reality series as a spinoff. I mean, I literally can't think of anyone more boring who somehow conned anyone into giving her own show. Can you?
Yeah, but The City didn't last long.
True, but remember how boring it was? It was unbelievably boring.
I didn't watch it, but I always think of, I don't know who it was actually. I think it was Michael K. at Delisted. Would always refer to her a couple times, and it was ingrained in my memory. Referred to Whitney Port's role on the show The Hills. The only reason she existed on The Hills was to ask everyone else what they did that weekend. Elsie would come into their internship. Didn't they work at Teen Vogue?
Mm-hmm. And they'd come into work and Whitney would go, hey, how was your weekend? The thing about Whitney is that I think for a lot of this was in real life, she was actually kind of good at her job, which made her extremely boring as a reality star. But then also she got the job in The City, and that's why she got her own show, because she got this better job and she was actually kind of good at the job.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know? Now she's just does like lifestyle stuff. I mean, I don't even know. She has a blog. I think she has a bunch of like fashion lines, she had a kid, I think.
Does she have a kid? I'm not sure that she has a kid.
I think she does. Yeah, because her Instagram bio is designer, wife, daughter, sister, aunt, friend, boss, baker, snack mom. Actually, I don't know if that necessarily means she's a mom. Snow globe collector. That's her bio on Instagram. I don't know if she has a kid. She seems The thing about her is that she seems so boring that she must be a nice and normal person in real life. That's always the case. If a celebrity is so boring that it's like just painful, usually it means in real life they're fine. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Hold on.
What are you Googling
We
right
can
now?
cut this, but... Oh, that's who it is. This counts. I was thinking of another Hui snow globe collector because I knew I read about this recently.
Stop it.
Can you name another who collects snow globes?
No.
Oh my god, just guess. I want to see how far away you are from this.
Another Hui person that collects snow globes.
A literal who collects snow globes, and they had a People feature at the end of last year where she showed off her collection, and it is bonkers, Lindsay. It's bonkers. It fills her dining room.
I don't even know where to go in this direction. Why don't you just tell me?
Just pick a name. It doesn't matter. I just want to hear a name.
Does Ariel Winter have a snow globe collection, Bobby?
No. Melissa Rivers has a snow globe collection.
Oh my god. What's weird is that I feel like snow globes is a very basic collection. They're literally made for people to collect. So if you collect snow globes, you're kind of a basic person. Do you know what I mean?
You're following orders, basically.
Literally, like you go to a gift shop and they're like, here are a bunch of snow globes to buy for your snow globe collection. You're like, do I have a snow globe collection? I guess. And then you buy one, you know?
Oh, I'm watching the video. She's showing off her really clever Arizona snow globe. And the snowman is melted, so it's just a hat in a pile of water.
Oh my god. I mean...
Do you get it, Lindsay?
Yeah, I get it. That makes me want to start collecting snow globes. They take up so much space, and they're not even that cute, and they're pretty cheap when you buy them cheaply. Anyways,
they really only look good whenever it's your shelves are completely filled with them. Like, you need quantity for them not to look shitty.
Yeah. So I went through Whitney Port's Instagram quite a while, and she does not have a kid because it has not shown up in like 400 photos.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Why is she calling herself a mother?
Snack mom. Her husband's hot. Anyways, this is so boring, just like Whitney Port. And I think we are done with this episode, which has been so long.
We have to be done.
Thank you so much. I feel like this was a catch up because we did the live show and we missed a bunch of like hot topics. So hope we covered a bunch of them for you.
Yeah, it was fun. We got a lot done.
As always, please review and rate us on iTunes. It means a lot, honestly, and people finding out about the show and knowing to listen to it, weirdly, just it affects the whole thing a lot. And telling your friends also is the nicest thing ever we could ever ask for. Keep on calling us, 619-WHO-THEM. We will hopefully get to your question. We get a bunch of them. We try our best. That's it, I think.
And that's it.
Have a good one.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
You will dream it.
Yo, they want to know.
Hey,
Leo,
hey,
Leo, come on.
hey. I want to be famous.
I will never know Ali Fedotowsky's baby's name. Ever.